So let's do a review here. Alright, was this spoiler free? Yeah, everyone was really good about this. And I really appreciate that. There was the occasional mechanics talk and things like that, but people didn't really, you know, didn't really give anything away. I mean, it was nice, especially nothing story related. A bit too loud, maybe. Alright, let me fix that. Sorry. Hopefully that's better. Okay, music rating. I really like the music in this game. I'd say that I felt like some of it I just heard a bit too much because there were so many battles and stuff like that. Even though Z-Mac was yelling at her screen. But I like a lot of the music in this game. This is the type of game where I would take the OST and I'd grab like half the songs, if not more, that I would add to like a playlist to have later. So I'm gonna say that I would give this between like a 7 or an 8. It's really, really good stuff. Some themes I didn't like so much, but still had some really good ones. Some of the battle themes are really good. Some of the like sincere moments and stuff like that were really good. So I'm gonna give it an 8. I really enjoyed it. Graphics for the era. This one's always difficult for me because I have to think back to playing PS3 and stuff like that. And I don't think this game was really going heavy into the graphics or anything like that. But I'm going to say, again, like I will with most things, that it just really worked for this game, what they did with this game. Other than maybe like the animations of the characters and stuff like that. But I still feel like those were meant to be goofy and silly and stuff like that. They weren't meant to be taken overly seriously. So I'm going to say that I'm going to give it about a 7. It was really well done for what the game was. Alright, so the story. Okay, this one's difficult because the story was definitely really goofy for the most part, and they were really trying for that. And sometimes for me, if they take it a bit too far and they like just keep, you know, let's say beating a dead horse, I thought that the sardine thing was going to get old for me. I honestly thought that was going to be the case, but that was funny the entire time through. I kind of got sick of Ward and Axel a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it was funny the first time, second time, and then after that I just felt like it was just a bit too much. I really would have been okay with him not being in the game anymore. But, you know, at least they made a reference to him at the end and made it a little bit funny and stuff like that again. I feel like you can beat the missions pretty quickly, so you get story pretty quickly. If you know the game well enough, you can probably get through the full story in, like people were saying, nearly 4 hours for the speedrun. But it was nice. It's not normally my type of thing. Let's say that. I'm normally like more serious tones and stuff like that, or I like it to mix it a little bit more. And this game definitely went more with the humor aspect of it, but I was okay with it. I enjoyed it. I looked forward to beating the missions just to get more story. So I'm gonna give this a 7 as well. Alright, so the mechanics rating. This one I can't rate as much as I'd like to because I didn't experience everything in the game. And I know I'm not looking at you guys, I'm sorry for that, I'm looking at my screen. So, I feel like the mechanics in the game were literally the thing that I found the least interesting. There's just too much going on for someone like me that likes tactics games. I like tactics games when you're very limited to your resources and things like that, and you have to make that work. But this game is the complete opposite of that. You can level up your weapons, you can level up items that you can use, you can level up your characters, you can turn your characters into different things, you can reincarnate your characters and make them stronger, you can level up abilities, you can use abilities, when you level up abilities, it like completely destroys the amount of damage that they do in comparison and everything else, but then they use a lot more SP, so there's a whole bunch of trade-offs. There's a Senate system that you can use that can lower the cost of items, increase the cost of items, give you better items, and everything like that. There is so much in this game to explore, but that's not the aspects of games that I tend to enjoy. I don't like going and looking at all the mechanical aspects of the games do it. If it's a storyline thing or something like that, sure, I'll explore it. If there's an extra dungeon to go through or something like that, okay, I'll probably do that too. But when it comes to mechanics, I've never been the type of person that cares enough to explore through everything on my first playthrough. I tend to figure stuff out multiple playthroughs later on. But this is the type of game that really wants you to explore that stuff and mess with that stuff, and it probably increases your enjoyment of the game and makes it more fun. But that's just not what I do. So I'm gonna say that for what I did with it, the mechanics are probably the least interesting aspect to me, but that's not to say that they weren't good with what I did. The battle mechanics and stuff like that were solid. I could increase the animations and stuff like that. I kind of got annoyed by the geostone spheres, whatever the blocks, whatever you want to call them. There was just a bit too many gimmicky maps that were just made annoyingly longer because they could be made longer, in my opinion. And maybe it's just because my approach to it was really bad, and there was way better approaches to some of those levels, but those just got old after a while. And maybe I was too excited to just, like, get through some of the things for more story and stuff like that, but the ones where you have to throw a character all the way over so that they can kill a bunch of people, and then you can't bring them back over, so you have to toss another character over and stuff like that, sure, it hindered me a lot because I wasn't using very many characters, but even if I was, that still would have been really annoying to me. But again, that's just me. So I'm going to say that mechanically and stuff like that, I'm going to give it a 6 or 7, and I'm always going to round it up normally, so I'm going to give it a 7. I did enjoy what I did, and I do realize that there's a lot more in the game to explore. And as we go through some of the more, some of the other Disgaea games, I'll probably experience them a little bit more, or at least have a little bit more of a base knowledge to it. So, the grinding rating. I didn't really grind. Very little. I redid a map like 3 or 4 times. That's about it. So I'm gonna say you can beat the game without really grinding at all. But the game is purely built around grinding. The game obviously wants you to. Like, with everything that you can do in the game, with the damage numbers and stuff like that, absolutely all the other mechanics in the game wants you to do some extra stuff over and over and over again. It doesn't want you to just complete the game. But I do not think that it's required. And, well, it could be if you don't build the way that I did. I don't know. I really don't know enough about the game. But I'm going to say that it really wasn't too required. And, Nakurti, do you remember what I was doing here? I believe I was saying that the higher number is better now, right? To make it easier to go through. So I'm going to say that... I'm going to actually give this an 8. I'm going to say that it's an 8 because it's not required to grind, but the game definitely wants you to grind. So overall, that's going to be a 7 that we're going to have. So that's not very bad. I really enjoyed the game. I did. I got to be honest, after a while, I wanted to just get through the battles because I was more interested in the story and stuff like that, and some of the battles just were not as intuitive as I would have liked them to be. They tried to throw these little puzzle elements into, like, oh, well, you gotta destroy this block first so that you can hit these guys over there, but most of the time it just made it really time-consuming. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, so, I'm also going to have you guys, if you don't mind, I'm gonna set up a straw poll. I'd like you guys to rate the game as well. Do not worry if you weren't here the entire time or anything like that. It's not necessary, it's not important. For whatever amount you got to see, if you enjoyed aspects of it, rate it high. If you didn't, rate it low. And normally, I should probably have some of this stuff ready before I start stream, but I never know when I'm gonna beat a game. Unless I've played the game before. Or I'm just, you know, stubborn and say I'm not stopping until... Alright, guys. Here's the poll. I'd really appreciate it if everyone takes the time to just rate it what you thought. In the meantime, I will fill out the rest of this stuff. So, will I replay this game? Ooh, wait, I didn't even answer that for the other one. What game was that there? Okay. Will I replay this game? I don't know that I'll replay this. I think I might watch YouTube videos to see if there's other endings and stuff like that, but I don't think that I would replay it. Alright, and we beat this... Today is what? 8th of July? Yep. And it took us 30 hours, 36 minutes, and 47 seconds. Alright. We're gonna highlight this green a while you guys keep voting. Hey, I think I chose the right green for once. Okay, let's see what we got so far. Again, I appreciate you guys taking the time out to do this. It gives me a perspective of what you guys thought as well, and it kind of puts in perspective for me what I thought of the game when other people are talking about what aspects they liked and what they didn't like. Alright, it looks like you guys rated it a 7.5, so very, very close to what I rated it as well. So I think we're all pretty much in agreement in some regard, in some way, shape, or form. Welcome back, BGG. How you doing, man? Alright guys, I'm gonna get the raffle ready here. Alright, that just gives a little bit of a explanation. I think it's what, raffle time? Yep. Alright guys, it is raffle time. If you want to enter a raffle, all you have to do is type in the word raffle. Everyone has an equal chance of winning, except for Nightbot, hopefully this time around. I definitely clicked Nightbot again. Okay, there's definitely a thing. Again, if you're unsure of what's going on here, it is my goal to beat every single JRPG. At the end of every one, I have a raffle. You win the raffle, pick the next game. It's as simple as that. So if you're a fan of JRPGs, if there's a particular game you'd like to really watch someone play, I highly recommend entering. I'll always give it a couple minutes to see if anyone, walks in or something like that, because I never know when these games are going to finish, so it's really difficult for people to be here when it happens. I mean, it's 3:30 in the morning. I don't normally stream this late, so... But in the meantime, while we're waiting, you guys can take a look at the list. Don't let Nakurdi win, says Zoe, who just picked that game that we just finished playing. You hope you win, you hope you win, you hope you win. Alright guys, we'll give it about another 30 seconds, and again, thank you everybody that stuck around and everything tonight. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, BGG? You figured it out? Alright guys, good luck everyone. Hopefully Nightbot doesn't win this time around. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Wow, okay. What the hell, Nakurdi? I don't even... I mean... there was 9 people that entered. You all had equal chance, but seriously, McCurdy, you have to be one of the most lucky people that I have met, to be completely honest. That's pretty ridiculous. Well, congratulations, McCurdy, again. That's 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th game? Seriously, you need to go get a lottery ticket, my friend. And once you win the lottery, then you have to share it with all of us, please. So what's the game, my friend? What is the game? Seriously, how does he do it? I've been like in Kolthor's streams for almost every single one of his raffles, and I won 1. And the only time that I won was when there was 2 people. 2 people! Alright guys, what's the game? What does McCurdy have in store for us? Alright, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Good choice, good choice. First time played? I believe so. I don't think I've played this one before. I did really like the music in this game. There's only a few tracks I didn't like. Your second favorite Fire Emblem? It's for GameCube. Oh, I might have to do emulator for that then. I need to figure that out. That will be some time figuring it out. Because emulators do not like running on my PC very